Hello Taurus, and welcome to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. My name is Colette and I'm here today to do a reading for all you Taurus out there. Taurus that are Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising. This is a reading for yourselves, also for anybody who may have a lot of Earth in their astrological makeup. This may resonate with you as well, or anybody who has a lot of Taurus placements as well. This may also resonate with you. Also, if you don't know where any of your placements are, where your Sun or Moon, Venus or Rising are even, there will be a astrological free natal chart link in the description down below. As per usual, I always add it to my description, so you could go and click on there and put in your time of birth, your place of birth, and you should be able to find out what your chart is, and then you can look at the astrology that's happening around us at this moment in time and maybe kind of find out more, see the bigger picture and try and make some sense of it for yourselves as well. So the reading today that I'm going to do is going to start with a Major Arcana card from the Gilded Tarot. I've decided I'm going to pull one Major Arcana card for the overall energy of the reading. And today, Taurus, you have got the card of the Sun, which is a beautiful card here. And for me, it kind of expresses a clarity, a kind of insight. It's like you're going to be seeing things more clearly. You're going to be getting a bigger understanding about the issues that have been maybe hanging around, shall we say, for some time now, and giving you a lot of difficulty, maybe some grief in kind of trying to work out what's going on in your life, Taurus. And so this is kind of a card of, if you look here, you also have this astrological zodiac chart here as well. And it's kind of saying that, you know, everything moves around this. This is the heart, shall we say, of our solar system. Everything moves around the sun, including ourselves. And so this is the very centre. And so I feel as well on some level, Taurus, that you are going to be putting yourselves in this place. You're going to be putting yourselves at the very centre of your universe. You're going to see things from a much more clearer perspective by doing that, by putting yourself at the centre of your universe. That doesn't mean that you're going to ignore everything else. All that means is that you are going to kind of decide for yourself that it's time for you to be in charge or be in control, or to start looking at things maybe even in a different way. It's a beautiful card. It kind of looks like a sunflower as well. I kind of get a kind of impression of a sunflower here, which of course the sunflower always rises above the rest of the flowers. It's kind of a flower that grows taller and has a different perspective from that sense as well. So there could also be a case of that here as well, that you are going to be getting more insight, Taurus, and more clarity is the thing that came through strongly for me with this card. And so talking about at the heart, being at the very heart, the very centre, at the very heart of your reading, Taurus, we have the first card here being the Lovers card. The card of the Lovers. And there's a few different aspects that have come out with this card for me today. I've recently been looking into, and I've been saying that I'm going to be doing a video on this energy of Eris, Black Moon, Lilith and Chiron, which are all kind of very important at this moment in time. And the reason that I'm bringing Eris up is because this golden apple here was thrown into this meeting, this party, or a wedding as it was originally, by the goddess Eris, who's kind of been pushed out, shall we say, of the acceptance of the other gods and goddesses. They don't invite Eris because Eris is a discordant energy. She's an energy that disrupts. She's an energy that just wants to cause trouble, really. She's known now more as a the unwanted feminine, the uninvited feminine, the feminine energy that kind of turns up when it's not really looked for. And this is kind of what I'm feeling with this card today as well, is that although these three here represent different aspects of the female, although this doesn't have to just be about the female, but at this moment in time there's a kind of energy here to do with this apple and this discordant energy. This again, you know, this can be either gender, but what the card is saying here, and it's all about the energy of the card rather than the actual gender itself, is that Paris was asked to choose between these three goddesses, because this apple, Eris had written on it, to the fairest, when she threw it amongst the goddesses, knowing full well that it would cause huge amounts of problems. And so the goddesses asked originally for Zeus to pick who he thought was the most beautiful or the fairest out of all of them. But Zeus, being a lot smarter than that, decided that he was going to pass that particular pleasure, shall we say, onto Paris here, this young youth who, being young and kind of inexperienced in the way of the world, immediately chose Aphrodite, even though each of these goddesses offered him something. This goddess here offered him, this is Hera, goddess of and wife of Zeus as well, and she offered him all the kind of knowledge of the earth realm, if you like, because that's what she rules over on the feminine aspect. Athene here offered Paris strategy, all the knowledge of strategy and how to win in wars and battles. But Aphrodite basically just offered him the most beautiful woman on the planet, which at that time happened to be Helen of Troy. And so this choice that was made by Paris caused a huge disruption for 10 years, a 10-year war for Troy, for the land of Troy, and many lives were lost because of it, because of the choice that was made. So it's kind of saying that who we choose to represent our emotional side, if you like, because we always choose the person to have a relationship with because we feel that they reflect a part of ourselves. We may not realize this, but it's almost like what we attract to us is how we see ourselves. What we believe about ourselves is reflected in the person who we choose to be our partner, to be our lover, to represent that side of who we are, you know, whether we're proud to be with this person or not, or because most of the time when we're having a relationship with somebody, we want somebody who we can say, yes, you know, I'm proud to be with this person. This is the person that I want to be seen with. But there's another energy coming through here as well, because this is covered by the Eight of Cups. So this is the challenge here, Taurus, at this time. So it's saying to me that whoever it was that you have chosen or you did choose to have a relationship with and to be your partner in life, because that's really what the Lovers card is about. It's about a partner in life. You're now having to walk away from it. You're having to let go. You're really having to, and I feel as though it's a reluctance here. I feel as though you don't necessarily want to be doing this. You don't necessarily want to have to leave it behind. But of course, when Paris chose these two goddesses, or this goddess, sorry, chose this goddess here, Aphrodite, he also set in motion a whole, how can you put it, like, by not choosing either of those two, he also kind of upset the apple cart, so to speak, by having to make that decision. So there could have been here as well, Taurus, there could be, you are in a situation now where you're having to make another choice. You're being asked to look at something with a lot more clarity, a lot more understanding, and putting yourself at the centre rather than thinking of the, how can I put it, thinking of the consequences for the other person only, and what will happen if you choose that person over this person. For some of you, that could also be what is happening here, that there is this triangle, this love triangle going on, and you don't know which person to choose because they have aspects that you like within all of them, or both of them. But there is, Taurus, this energy here that is saying that there's something here about walking away, because literally here she's walking down these steps into the underworld. This is Psyche, who appears with Aphrodite because she fell in love with Eros, which is Aphrodite's daughter, and it was the choice of Aphrodite that kind of set the whole thing of Troy into motion as well. So there's a kind of feeling background here of things having not been easy, that there's been arguments, there's been discord, there's been upset. You've been kind of asking yourself, did I make the right choice? There may also be a distance between you and your partner, or somebody who you did have a relationship with, but I feel as though there's still an attachment here. There's still an attachment. This person still makes you still want to be with this person. Whoever it was that you chose, you're finding it hard to walk away from this. But there's a part of you that is kind of realizing that that's what you need to do. You need to walk away in order to find that clarity, in order to be able to see things from a clearer perspective. And maybe even to realize that, you know, the universe itself has got something, some other plans maybe, that in walking away you're actually walking towards something better. You're leaving behind the kind of darkness and the negative side of what has been accumulating in this relationship, because this is something, because it's the Lovers and it's a major arcana, and because this is also come out with this, I feel as though this is a long standing thing. This isn't something that's just kind of occurred over the last weeks or months. This is more, possibly even years, possibly even 2 or 3 years back, but it's still affecting. There's still this very strong pull towards this person. And what's in your head, Taurus, at this moment in time, and what you're aware of, is the Justice card, who appears also here as Athene, as one of the goddesses that wasn't chosen. And her speciality, shall we say, is being able to remove herself from things emotionally. And I feel that that is what you're doing here. That you're trying to leave the emotions behind, and you're trying to go into a place of being able to see things with a much clearer, more sharper, more intellectual way of understanding it, shall we say, rather than being caught up in all these emotional situations that you have been through with this person. You're now saying to yourself, I need to give myself space. I feel is also part of this as well. So you may find that at the moment you're actually cutting this person out of your life. You may have decided that you're not communicating with this person at all, because the Justice card is also about harmony and balance and fairness. And you may feel as well, Taurus, that there's been not a lot of balance and not a lot of harmony for yourself in this relationship. And that the way that you expected things to turn out didn't necessarily turn out the way that you were hoping or wishing. And that your emotions are clouding the issue, or have been clouding the issues. But now I feel as though you've got a lot more kind of, what's the word? A lot more kind of, with the owl here as well, she has this wisdom, she has this inner wisdom, she uses this wisdom to be able to make the right choices, the choices that are fair, that are balanced. But again, I feel because of this sun here, that this is about what's best for you. This is what's best for you. It's not necessarily what's best for the relationship or what's best for the other person. This is you now saying, I've got to look after me. I've got to be fair to me. If this other person isn't going to be fair to you, Taurus, you have to take that and do it for yourself. I feel that that's what this Justice card is saying at this moment in time. And underneath it, what's in your subconscious is the Hierophant. And the Hierophant in this particular deck relates to Chiron energy. This is Chiron, this is the wounded healer. So there is a part of you that feels that you need to heal something. There's a strong healing taking place here. This centaur was also a teacher. And in Greek mythology, he did actually teach Apollo, the sun god here, everything that he knew. He learnt from Chiron, this Hierophant. And here, if you see, he's got this light here. His scroll in his hand. He's kind of saying that this is what you're learning, what you're yet to learn as well. But you have been in this place of trying to see things on a deeper level. Because it's in a cave, there's this kind of inner, and again, here with this Eight of Cups, is kind of going down into the depths of your own. Somehow it's kind of the deeper down into your despair you go. It's like you're having to really go further down than you've been before. It's like you can no longer hide from it. You can no longer run away from it. You can no longer ignore it. You're being called towards it. And there's a learning process that's going on with this. Walking down these steps, I feel each time you go further down, each time you take another step, it's like you're finding out more about yourself. And it's like an uncovering, like this scroll is kind of slowly being opened to you, and this scroll is kind of showing you your life in many ways. That's what I'm feeling for you, Taurus. But the Hierophant to me is also saying there is a light here. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, shall we say, that there is light in the darkness. That although you're going down into the darkness, you're actually kind of finding that light within yourself. This sun here, I feel, is kind of represented by the same thing here, that you're finding it. It's at the heart of who you are. Because I also feel that on some level you may well have been trying to fit yourself into being something for somebody else as well, with this Lover's card. That you may have wanted to be something for this other person, if you understand what I mean, like a side of your personality that wasn't really you, but it felt like if you took on that character, or if you took on that role, and I'm not talking about kind of role playing here, I'm talking about if you kind of became that energy, then that person would accept you more. That if you became more strategic, or if you became more kind of motherly and caring and supportive, or if you became more sexually domineering or orientated, or you know, that person would then accept you better. So that could also be one of the reasons why you're walking away from this, because I feel as though you're kind of really trying to find your own identity in all this as well, Taurus. In a sense, I feel as though you may have lost your identity through all this over these last few years, no longer really knowing who you are and where your feet stand. And we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is moving away. Sorry about this glare, it's a little bit bright in places. And the Seven of Pentacles is an energy for me of, here you can see that she's offering this character here one of these coins. He's got all these coins stacked up here, and these are kind of his hard work and the time and energy and effort that he's put into something, and he's trying to build something up in his life. He's trying to create something. And I feel that this is your energy, Taurus. This is what you've been doing, is you've been trying to build something from the bottom up over the last few years, I feel. This could be a business. This could be you working on yourself. This could have been your relationship. But it's something that you've been putting a lot of yourself into, Taurus. And this person here, again, it doesn't matter about the gender, but this person here is offering you something, or they had offered you something. Something had been offered to you, or something is being offered, but I feel more that this is in the past. But that sorry, let's say that again, that what was offered to you was somehow misleading, and there's now this kind of feeling of, should I have taken that? Should I have not taken it? Was it the right thing to do? Was it the wrong thing to do? If you did take it, and even if you didn't take it, there's still this kind of feeling of, because what they offered, you may feel didn't turn out to be as solid an offer as you wished it could have been, or you thought it was going to be. Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles can often talk about rewards as well, but in this particular card I feel it's more about a kind of a feeling of a dilemma of not knowing whether you should or whether you shouldn't accept that, or whether you should have or shouldn't have. So you're kind of stuck in that place of I feel in some way, Taurus, you're stuck in that place of kind of almost like regret in some ways. A sense of, I was stupid. A sense of kind of like beating yourself up on some level as well. Why did I do that? Why didn't I just continue on the path that I was on? I was doing okay. I should have left that. I should have just walked away from it earlier. Maybe I shouldn't have even accepted it at all. But this is the energy that's moving away. And you have two cards come out for your energy that's moving in here. We have the Three of Pentacles. So this is about you building something again in your life. A kind of sense of teamwork, a kind of sense that a community feeling here as well, that whatever it is that you're going to work on is going to be of value for other people as well. This isn't just about your own value here. This isn't just about what you can receive from the time and the energy and the effort that you put into it. Because it's Pentacles, it's very much in the physical realm. It's very much about what you're creating, what you're making, what you're bringing into the physical world, and how you're going to go about it, whether that's with these coins here, and coins are all about the physical realm. They relate to the very earthy energies of Taurus, Capricorn and Virgo. But it's covered over here with the Five of Wands, which is about self-doubt and battling your inner demons to achieve what you want to achieve. You have to, and I feel that this is also what this card is about here. It's kind of what I mean by kind of taking one step at a time. Slowly kind of uncovering that scroll. Kind of looking at things. I feel looking at things from a much more realistic place as well. Possibly also that's what this Justice card is about as well, is seeing the reality of it, because you've removed your emotions from this situation. You may well have stopped communicating with this person. In order for you to be able to get that clarity and that insight and that understanding. But the Five of Wands here is about adversity, it's about difficulties, it's about overcoming things. And in this card, this particular character here is really important, because she is the only person who can get Jason, because this is about Jason and the Argonauts, and this is the golden fleece here, which kind of is a symbolic representation of our transformation in a way, if you like, of our kind of overcoming something. And when we overcome something, it's like that achievement, that feeling of euphoria, that kind of feeling of I can do it, it is possible. So it kind of symbolically represents that that victory. But in order to get to the victory, we have to overcome our inner monsters. And I often liken this to being a child and having to face the monster under the bed. Because we get to that point, you know, where we don't even want to get into bed because the monster under the bed has become so big in our head that we're convinced that this monster is going to grab us and eat us and like consume us. And so really it is just our fears about our self-doubt, our, in some ways, our imaginations as well. It's also about our imaginations running wild as well, seeing the kind of worst of a situation rather than seeing the reality of it, seeing it as it really is, facing that monster within yourself and seeing that it's actually, you know, it's a dragon the size of a mouse. And that it can be overcome and you can defeat it and you can grow stronger from this. So I'm going to add some more cards to this and ask for some clarity, Taurus, for the Lovers and the Eight of Cups. For Taurus, Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising. And see what the energies are saying here. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising. What is the message here? And we have the King of Earth come out, and the King of Earth has come out in reverse. Usually this is a very solid energy. Usually the King of Earth is about kind of knowing where you stand with something. It's got a wisdom about it. It's a mature energy. It's an energy that has kind of been through a lot of things. It's experienced a lot of life. It's often seen as a kind of wise energy. It is, again, it's the physical realm, but it's in reverse here. Over the top of the Lovers and the Eight of Cups. This can also be your energy, Taurus, as well. Being the King of Earth. The Earth energy is Capricorn as well. There is a lot going on within the Earth planets at the moment. A lot of change is occurring. Uranus is in Taurus at the moment, and so is Venus. So there is a lot of things within the Earth signs. We also have Saturn just about to move out of Capricorn. We have Jupiter, we have Mars. We have the South Node. But I get the feeling that this is about you not feeling, it's like you feel that the that your physical realm, if you like, your physical body is how can I put this? The physicalness in your world at the moment. You feel as though you're not grounded in it. You feel as though things are all up in the air. As though you're not making the right decisions. So you're not able to bring things into the physical world, or manifest things maybe even in the way that you want to at this moment in time, Taurus. That there's something that you are trying to create here, but it feels as though it's eluding you. It could also be an element of a very Like maybe also having to deal with some father issues here as well, though it's not, it is an earth sign, there may also be father issues that are involved in this situation. Purely because it's a king and because of everything that's happening in the Taurus realm and the Capricorn energy, and this is also relating to Capricorn energy, I feel. I'm going to pull another card on that one and see if that gives me any more clarity for the King of Earth. Why is the King of Earth here? Why is the King of Earth here with the Lovers? It could be that you've been in a relationship with a Taurus. It could be that you are having to face the aspects of a Taurus, the Taurusness of yourself, Taurus. Also for you cross-watchers out there, I often forget to talk to you cross-watchers, but this could also be affecting you as well, in the sense that you yourself could also be turning up in this reading. So if you are watching as a cross-watcher, just be aware that the energies can literally be crossed over. We have the Tower. There is a Tower moment. There is something that's going to happen here. Again, it's about clarity and insight. It's about breakthroughs. It's about suddenly seeing something. This is a very Uranus energy. And of course, like I said, Taurus, we have also Taurus. Uranus is in Taurus at this moment in time. Being a Taurus myself, I fully understand that. And it's like something is blocked with this big stone here. But there's all this rays like in the background. So it's like, again, it's kind of feeling of with this sun here. It's like the clarity hasn't quite broken through yet. But there will be something that is going to kind of break you out of this. And I feel that maybe that's what this energy here is about. That this is about you kind of looking at your very Taurus way of being, if you like. And maybe feeling that it's not, you know, that you've kind of been told that that is not a, I wouldn't say acceptable energy, but it's kind of like, you know, you kind of feel attacked for being who you are, in a way. That's what I'm picking up here, that there's a kind of feeling that you have worked really hard to become who you are, and the lessons that you've learned through your life and who you have been. And then somebody else has kind of said to you, you know, that's not what I'm looking for, maybe. That's not what I want in my life. And you've tried to kind of fit into something else here and realised that by doing that, you've actually not helped the situation, because you're not being true to yourself, which could also be what this Tower moment is. And maybe this is why this is upside down as well, because you've not been true to yourself. And that's kind of what you're waking up to, Taurus. Is this not having been true to who you are as an individual and as a person. But this Tower is saying to me that there is going to be this breakthrough. There is going to be this moment of kind of realisation of things, of like an aha moment of like, it's okay. It's okay to be me. It's okay if that other person can't accept that that's who I am. Then that's not my problem, that's their problem. And it's time for you to kind of put that down and to move forward, which is again, which I think the Eight of Cups is saying here as well. It's about you kind of walking away from that emotional imbalance. So let's see why the Justice card is here. You have quite a lot of major arcana cards here, actually, Taurus. With the Lovers, Justice and the Hierophant all coming out as the first kind of 3 cards. We have the Page of Pentacles. Again, it's a very earthy energy. Again, it talks to me about you not accepting who you are in reverse. It's an energy of a young, playful, yeah, I just get this feeling of like you not being allowed to have been who you actually are. That whoever you were in this relationship with, Taurus, they didn't see the true you. They didn't actually see you for who you were. They saw you for the person that they wanted you to be, and you tried to become that person, but that person isn't who you are. So you're now trying to kind of look again at your own identity here. You're kind of trying to spread your wings and learn how to fly again, because this person has kind of brought you down to this, which in some ways can also be an energy of feeling depressed, of let down, of things not kind of just feeling things are very negative. But it is a place where you need to be as well at the same time. There is this energy saying that this is where you need to be at this moment, because you need to look at why you find it so difficult to accept who you are, Taurus, as a Taurian, as that energy. And again, I get that feeling of like, you know, it doesn't matter what other people feel or think about you. If they can't accept you for who you are, then, you know, no amount of kind of dressing up or trying to be something else is going to make any difference. And it's time to walk away from that, if that is the case. It's time to leave that behind. So let's see why the Hierophant is here for you, Taurus. Why is the Hierophant here for Taurians? All you Taurus out there, Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising. The King of Water. So the King of Water here is kind of saying to me, accept who you are. Accept who you are. There's a loving energy here. If you see the way that he's kind of holding out his hand to this little fish here. It's come out over the top of the Hierophant, which is all about you learning like the lessons on a higher level, but also on a deeper understanding. This is a very Sagittarius energy to me. This energy, it's about higher energy, higher learning. It's Jupiter as well, Jupiter energy of kind of pushing beyond the boundaries of what you believe, the way you look at life and how you think things are. Although it's also Chiron as well. This is the wounded healer, as I was saying earlier, but there is also within the Hierophant a sense of Sagittarius energy, because it is the centaur as well. And the Sagittarius card, or sign of Sagittarius, is the centaur. But here, with this King of Water here, which kind of depicts the energies of the water signs, of the Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces energy. And they're all very intuitive, they're all very instinctual, they're all very sensitive energies, they're all very, signs themselves, very sensitive. It doesn't necessarily mean that these are people that you've had a relationship with. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that this is the energy, if you like, that maybe there has been an oversensitivity towards things as well. But I feel more than anything else that on a deeper subconscious level, this is saying accept who you are. Even if you are this little fish, you know, it's like it doesn't matter. You are still important. You are still of value. If you look at the way that he's like looking with absolute kind of love, deep sense of love, and kind of opening his hands to kind of accept this little fish into his life, because to him it's special as it is. It doesn't need to be anything else. It doesn't need to be a huge blue whale, or, you know, the size doesn't make any difference. It's not about it being anything else. It's literally about it being who it is, and being comfortable with who it is, and accepting who it is. And I think that's the message on a deeper subconscious level here, Taurus, that you're being told to kind of accept yourself, accept who you are. Don't try and be anybody else. Don't try and fit into anybody else's world to make them happy. This is about you being you and being happy with being you. So the Seven of Pentacles, the energy that's moving away. Let's see what that's all about. A card, please, for the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Five of Air in reverse. And so this card here is saying to me that there has been this feeling of being out on your own, out on a limb. It's in reverse, so it's almost like this happened in a sense of you had no choice. You had no choice. If you see here, if you look very carefully, there's a tightrope there, and she's kind of standing on this tightrope. And it always looks to me, especially when it's upside down, it's like, well, what's she going to do next? How is she going to kind of maintain that position, or is she going to fall? Is there a fall from grace here as well? There could also be that in this card as well, this kind of feeling of that you fell from grace, you've been isolated, you've been kind of, you know, you're out on a limb, you're on your own, and you're having to kind of stand your ground, if you like. You're having to, it's a 5, and 5s are usually about adversity and about kind of trying to overcome things, like I was saying with the 5 of Wands here as well, about overcoming something. And there's just this, for me, there's this kind of sense of, especially when it's in reverse, of you not knowing what the next step is as well. And of course it came out with this card of kind of the dilemma of, you know, did I do the right thing to take this? Was this, should I have left it? Should I have walked away from it earlier? Should I have just ignored it completely? If I hadn't have picked that coin up and looked at it and kind of, you know, tried to build with it, would I be having this tower moment? Would it all be falling down around my ears if I'd left well alone? And so have a quick look at the 3 of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands, Taurus, and see what they're trying to say to you here. But the energy of the 7 of Pentacles and the 5 of Air are moving away. They're energies that have been around for a while, but they are leaving the situation. So you may have felt as though you've been walking this very kind of thin line, this kind of tightrope for a while, just like really trying to kind of find your footing, find this new ground even. I think again, you know, with this 8 of Cups, like I was saying, like, you know, one step at a time. It's just one step, one foot after the other, going down into the depth of your own emotions. And because this is your covering card, because it's your challenge at this moment of time as well, Taurus, it is possibly an energy that you're kind of reluctant to go into, and a place that you don't particularly want to go, because none of us really do. But there's also this kind of Black Moon Lilith energy around at the moment as well, with Chiron. So that could also be what's coming out. But you have here energy that's moving in is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, which is interesting because you have the King here as well. So there's a lot of earth energy within this reading. There is quite a lot of kind of, yeah, you've got the Seven of Pentacles, you've got the Three of Pentacles, you've got the Page of Pentacles, or the Page of Earth, sorry. So there is this, all this earth energy, and it is all in reverse. And so the Queen of Pentacles in reverse to me is saying here, because when I look at her up the right way, I always see her as a really strong, very kind of a character who knows her worth. She knows her place. She knows that she's powerful, she's confident, she's strong in who she is. You don't mess with the Queen of Pentacles when she's in her power. She can also be very nurturing and very loving and very giving, but when she's upside down, this energy just is very, I kind of want to say it's very it's powerful, but it's powerful in a different way. It's powerful in almost like a kind of, you know, rejecting way. The Queen of Earth, she has this real, like if she rejects something, Taurus energy, Queen of Earth, she finds it very hard to forgive. If you upset her, if you do her wrong, if you and it takes more than once as well, because she has a forgiving quality about her. But if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, and you kind of don't learn that lesson about her, which is kind of also the Tower card here as well. There's also this, like, you know, if you don't learn that lesson, the Tower comes in. But for me, what it's saying here is that once the drawbridge, shall we say, has been pulled up and she has decided to block completely, then it takes a lot for that Taurus energy to allow it back in. So there could be elements here where you are going to be put into a situation of having to face your demons and your inner self-worth here as well, with this 3. Also about whether or not you believe you deserve on some level to be taken care of and looked after, and how much you're willing to share with other people as well here, and the risks that it involves as well. But I feel that with this Queen of Pentacles, you're not going to be very open, you're not going to be giving much away. You're going to be very strong-willed and very determined about the situation, about choices that you make at this moment in time. Very strong-willed, very kind of sticking to your guns, shall we say. Very kind of like, you know, this is what I've decided. This is my choice. This is my my decision here to just feel very strongly that somebody is going to be kept in a place of how can I put it? A place of almost like an insecurity. There's an insecurity, a feeling of insecurity here. But there's a strength within that as well. There's a growth within that insecurity as well. Learning. And I still feel it's learning about yourself, Taurus, as well, because you've come out so much in this particular reading. You're everywhere in these cards. But I do get the feeling that there is a element here of not wanting to let your drawbridge down, shall we say. You're not ready or willing to open your heart, maybe, to somebody. And the Moon card is saying here, expect powerful change. New moon eclipse. Expect powerful change. So I'm just going to have a quick look at what that's about. Expect powerful change is an energy of, obviously it's an energy of something out of the blue. Again, it sounds very much like a Tower card energy to me. Uranus in Taurus. There's a lot of expecting of the unexpected at this moment in time, because everything seems to be in flux. What are we? New moon eclipse. Yeah, here we go. Expect powerful change. If you want affirmation that you can achieve your dreams and get the desired outcome in the situation you're asking about, then this is it. This is a card of beginnings and there are powerful energies at work, but be prepared, it could be quite a ride. And events now could even be jarring and uncomfortable. However, any new directions you take will almost always lead somewhere better than where you are at the moment. Whatever is happening now is happening for a reason you'll appreciate later on. And that's kind of what I was saying earlier as well, that you are where you're meant to be at this time, Taurus, that things, even though they may seem difficult and hard to you and you don't necessarily want to dive into your emotions in the sense of going down into the depths, one step at a time, you are being asked to do so and to kind of remove your emotions out of the picture. So it's almost like you're being asked to look at the situation from a third party view. So you're not actually the person that's feeling or experiencing it, but you're actually beginning to look at it from an outside viewpoint, if you understand what I mean. Like you're a third party looking in. How does it look to that person? Maybe even asking yourself, how would it look? How does it look to the other person that I was in a relationship with at the time? But we have two more cards which I will quickly read to you. This one came out, which is beautiful. I love this card. Such a gorgeous card. It's kind of subtle pink here, kind of cherry blossom, springtime look about it. And this is a blessed season. It says, each season of your life is a gathering of precious moments. Each one has its purpose, unique beauty, challenges and blessings. Everything is always unfolding in accordance with the divine will of your soul. All is a blessing and forever blessed. So even though it may not feel like it at this moment in time, it is leading you to a better place, Taurus. It is a blessing. There is a blessing occurring within all this, which is what I feel that this is about as well. The very beginning, this card here is taking you somewhere other than where you thought you were going to go or be. And then lastly, we have this lovely card here, which is Simplicity, Fluorite. And this card relates to the crown chakra, purple. And it says, envision a desert scene miles from anywhere. You are surrounded by the spar brush on the desert floor. In the distance, you see mesas rising from the earth and reaching for the sky. I presume that's some kind of cactus. Hawks circle, small animals scurry, snakes slither. A peaceful stillness lies over all. This is a place of purity, far from the distractions, noise and confusion of the world you have become so accustomed to. This is a place that knows itself. It does not need a national burger chain for identity. It is comfortable with who it is, which is interesting because that's kind of what I was saying to you earlier, Taurus, about how you need to be you and not try and be something other than who you are. So the simplicity of the desert is a symbol of an uncluttered existence. Do you long for a simplification of your demanding life? Freedom from complexity and overstimulation opens a space within you to entertain some of the profound questions that need to be asked, which is what I think this is. Along, of course, with the Hierophant as well, because this has a profound energy about it. Again, to me, it relates to Sagittarius. It relates to the profound energy that is Sagittarius, because Sagittarius is all about the kind of bigger questions of life. It relates to religion. It relates to also the fact that we have the galactic center in Sagittarius, which is the point where we are connected to the rest of the universe as well. So there is this kind of much higher energy coming in through the Sagittarius sign itself. So carry on. Yeah. What is life? Why am I here? How can I help? Is there more to my existence than this everyday humdrum? If so, how can I get in touch with it? Where is the room in your busy schedule for asking these questions or receiving any answers? Perhaps the issue of whether these questions need to be asked and answered has not yet arisen in your life. But you may wonder why you often feel an emptiness and longing to fill this void, which could also be this card here. You may try food or shopping trips to the mall, but unfortunately, material goods do not satisfy your need. The dress you buy may hang in your closet for months before you wear it. The fishing tackle may stay unused even longer. The fulfilled feeling you search for can only be found by stripping away the extraneous from your life. Then the true essence of your existence will be revealed, which again is what I've been kind of saying, that it's about who you are, not about everything else. Does this mean that you need to become a monk or a nun? Not unless you feel a calling for those vocations. Are we suggesting that you throw out all your belongings and reject material goods? That could be unrealistic. It is essential, though, to disentangle yourself from the chaos that surrounds you and all that feeds it. The frenzy of your day-to-day life is pervasive, and that could also be what this card is doing. There's a kind of austerity about this card as well, a kind of like just very clinical, a clinicalness, a kind of cleaning out of things, emotional things as well as possible with the physical realm as well, because maybe there's too much within the physical realm. Taurus does tend to have that ability to just hoard lots of stuff, whether that's emotions or physical things as well. It is difficult for Taurus to let go of lots in their life. relationships included. The frenzy in your day-to-day lives is pervasive. You cannot escape it unless you make a conscious effort. Have you chosen our card today because you want to return to a more basic life? Do you feel a need to reprioritize what is truly important and essential? Would you like to replace savoir-faire and sophistication in your interactions with purity and integrity? Do you dream of a return to innocence? Which is what I think this card is here. There's an innocence and a playfulness about the page of earth and his connection to the earth itself. Your desire is the first step from which a new lifestyle can grow. A next step might be to sit down and make 2 lists side by side. One would contain the fundamentals you consider necessary for a fulfilled life. The other would include your current life activities and possessions. Does your life today support the life plan you would like to build for tomorrow? If the 2 lists are at odds with each other, consider how you can bring them into harmony. Make adjustments in your life based on what your heart tells you. And this is kind of what I was saying earlier as well about this heart energy here, as how I feel that this is about the heart, being at the heart of yourself. Acknowledge the psychological overcrowding that you are forcing yourself to endure. This is a pollution of your spirit for which a decontamination may be required to move from your jam-packed existence to one of simplicity. Free yourself from the unfulfilling patterns that hold you back. The crown chakra is the place where ultimate simplicity and ultimate complexity coexist. This chakra holds universal wisdom to be used in physical incarnation. That's what I think this is about as well. Just learning about yourself. The ability to distill the many truths into the truth. Fluorite's purple energy assists the crown chakra by helping you see the larger picture beyond the clutter of your daily existence. So Taurus, you may want to grab yourself a piece of fluorite. It's quite easy to get hold of, I do think. It's one of those crystals that there's plenty of, and I don't think it's particularly expensive either. So you may want to see if you can find a piece of fluorite. If you have fluorite already, then maybe kind of keep it with you, put it in your pocket, hold it, talk to it, kind of have it around you as much as you possibly can at this moment in time, because you may feel some comfort from this, you may get some deep understanding of what it's trying to tell you, and you may find it easier to try and find that simplicity amongst all the chaos. So I'm going to leave your reading there today, Taurus, and say I hope that you have enjoyed it. If you have, please could you thumbs it up for me and like it. Helps to get it out into the bigger YouTube world of videos. More people get to see it, more people then could possibly come and subscribe to my channel. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please could you do so. And also for you that have subscribed and have returned, thank you very much and welcome back. And lastly, well, 2 more things. One, could you also tap the bell to receive videos that I will be putting out in the future if you're wanting to find out more. And also share my videos, please, with anybody who you think they may be of help to, as I'm really trying to kind of get my messages out there into the bigger world to help as many people through difficult times as I can. Okay, Taurus, thank you very much for listening. Please take care, and hopefully I'll see you again soon.